So you're thinking about pursuing a mechatronics engineering degree, but there's still some information you need. What are the entry-level job prospects like? Is graduate school necessary? How much can you reasonably expect to make? In this video, I will answer those questions and dive deep into what you can expect if you decide to pursue mechatronics engineering. But before we discuss mechatronics engineering, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel to continue hearing more about various engineering careers and how to be successful in them. Be sure to stick around to the end of the video to get a full understanding about the opportunities in mechatronics engineering and whether it may be the right field for you. So let's first discuss what mechatronics engineering is. So it's an interdisciplinary field that combines a few different sides of engineering: mechanical, electrical, coding or computer science, and control systems. So we're focusing on designing intelligent systems that can integrate mechanical and electrical components, or in more recent years, artificial intelligence components as well. So think of any type of robot that's going to have a mechanical sort of body to it, as well as a lot of electrical systems to govern its behavior. And so engineers who understand these multiple disciplines working together, it's going to be a big advantage because you can bridge the communication gaps between a lot of the different teams that work on the mechanical side of these robots or other devices and the electrical side, and who does the programming of the behavior of the functionality of it. And so certain industries that will utilize this mostly would be a lot of robotics or automation, just stuff that you'd see in factories where robots or machines seem to know what they're doing, what to put where on a car or something. Automotive, healthcare, similar thing with like surgical robots or smart medical devices. Aerospace for unmanned aircrafts or smart aircrafts, and certain types of consumer electronics and smart devices that we all have that need high degrees of functionality and high degrees of artificial intelligence. So the types of jobs that are available for different levels. So at the entry level, you could start off as an entry level technician or get into automation engineering and controls and such. And then at the mid career, you can get more into senior level and get more into management, coordinating projects, more research and development type of roles, and then just higher levels in robotics or system integrations. And once you get more and more advanced, you will potentially get more into technical leadership and could also do academic and research positions if you get a higher level degree like a PhD. So let's talk about salary, and this is where mechatronics engineers could do really well. Some of them earn above $105,000, and they typically range from 68,500 to about 105 based on salary.com and ZipRecruiter. And a lot of this is going to depend on the location and the industry, which we'll talk about in a bit. But the tech industry tends to offer the highest salaries, and more expensive cities tend to also offer the higher salaries because they have to be able to get people who can afford the area that they're living in. And so most positions are at least 65K and the majority are above 80K. Once you get into mid-career, it increases substantially. And the national average seems to be about 89 or 90,000 according to Glassdoor, but some sources show more 131,000. But once you get 5 to 8 years of experience, you can earn roughly 110,000. Some of the top earners are really killing it with around 213,000. That's like the 90th percentile and above, because this does tend to be a lot of really cutting edge technologies that are working in this field. But because the highest paying regions tend to be like the Bay Area, and that's why they tend to be particularly high paying, is because that's hands down the most expensive area in the country. and it also tends to be the biggest tech hub in the country. So Bay Area, San Jose, San Francisco, Oakland, as well as some in DC and Massachusetts. And the leaders in salary are information technology, manufacturing, aerospace, that tend to have the most cutting edge technology and have the most pay toward them as well. So let's talk about the job market and employment. And so there's around 170,000 mechatronics engineers in the US today based on BLS data, and it's expected to grow by about 3.3% in the next 10 years. So expected a need for around 9,000 mechatronics engineers over the next 10 years, which is about average growth, it seems. So moderate, pretty steady employment opportunities. So mechatronics engineers have more career options than traditional mechanical engineers because you could probably still do the traditional mechanical stuff, CAD, FEA, and whatnot, but you also have more of the options for robotics or other smart devices. So you could pursue positions as mechanical engineers or electrical engineers, robotics, a lot of overlap. And then for advanced degrees, you might find better job prospects and roles that are more specialized in certain research and development, and so also more attractive to industries with growing fields in robotics, autonomous vehicles, and smarter versions of healthcare technology. And then if you go for a PhD, it's going to open opportunities for higher level research and development at some of the most needed institutions or the most prestigious institutions like the DoD, NASA, such. And so for PhD holders, you could earn still potentially 100K to 140K and then get into academic positions and such. In terms of work-life balance, it's going to be pretty standard, generally going to work 40 hours a week, and most people work full-time. Sometimes there's going to be some overtime here and there, just like in any other job. And you could expect to work more than it depending on certain schedules and what's needed and such, if there's an excess of work and tight deadlines. And usually doesn't seem like most people have to work nights and weekends, but if you need to meet project deadlines and if there's operations going on overnight and such, then may need to tend to that. And it's the same thing as in other types of engineering, like mechanical and electrical, where you may end up having a lot of work that's on the computer, where you're working on the theoretical stuff, the modeling and simulation. But then there's also stuff in the manufacturing or testing environment that you need to tend to that could be more the off shifts. But yeah, a lot of office stuff, a lot of manufacturing floor stuff and whatnot, hands on. So to sum it all up, very strong salaries and good growth potential, especially depending on where you're going, what city it is, and what industry it is. And it's a very versatile skill set and could unlock more opportunities with advanced degrees, good work-life balance, interdisciplinary training, so pretty good flexibility and job security. So overall, this is a very solid field for the right person. Maybe pretty difficult, so may have to really put your heart and soul into it and work hard on it. But if you can make it there and if you can get into a good industry, certainly not a bad option. So I hope you found this video helpful, and I hope it gave you a good idea of whether or not mechatronics engineering could be a good field to go into. So if you liked this video or found it helpful, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel to continue hearing more information about engineering careers and how to succeed in them. And thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the view. Hope to talk to you soon.